It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D. It's D&D.
Hello.
All agreed to play
And
some
welcome
D&D.
Last Light.
That means
I am your benevolent dungeon master, Puck, and I am joined today by these intrepid explorers, these fine individuals, the best of the best, who have been asked to traverse this unknown, untamed wilderness known as the Treasured Expanse. And I will now introduce them in no particular order, starting with Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss V. I almost didn't get
Hello, I'm Amelia Song. I use most pronouns, and so does V. Was I supposed to say anything else?
No, it's fine. Say what you want, it's cool. Also joining us today, our expedition leader, the illustrious Lady Dulcinea.
Hi. I've never led anything before, so it might go poorly.
Very well. I look forward to it either way.
Right? I'm gonna be fine. I don't know about the rest of everybody else. That's their problem.
It's not necessarily who you bring home, but how many. And
right, there is no I in team, but there is a me, and me is gonna win.
Of course. Also joining us is archaeologist extraordinaire and child prodigy, Shay.
Hello, everyone. Yes, Shay is doing all of the archaeological, that's not a word, things. I said a word, probably incorrectly. It's
Close.
fine. It's fine. She's
Amazing
doing the
energy.
things. And she's finding treasure, this particular necklace that her wonderful friend is helping her to get the tools in order to put it together. We're going to figure out this puzzle and figure out how to use proper grammar and words. Yep.
I look forward to all of it. Also joining us, champion of the Rivertop Fighting Arena, TJ the Cleaver, aka Trey for Grok.
So let's all keep that under wraps, though.
Yeah, nobody needs to know about that. Nobody
goes
needs
back
to
home, found out, yeah.
It'd be terrible. Terrible. So, when last we left our heroes, they had set out on an expedition, a sponsored journey to explore the far eastern reaches of this land known as the Treasured Expanse. They're not the only ones in this contest. There are many other teams setting out as well, for the prize is great. Those who discover the northeastern coast of the Treasured Expanse will be given land and a generous stipend from the empires to settle it. So there are many people willing to put their lives on the line for this prize. Their journey has led them through most of the civilized and settled areas, meeting eccentric and devious governors of all kinds, and hearing stories of the terrors that may lurk in the unknown reaches of this new land. They came across the town known as Guardian Falls, an upstart new village centered around a gem mine, managed by a man who was but a simple miner only a few years ago. And they participated in a kind of fighting tournament in which TJ the Cleaver, who may or may not be affiliated with the group in any way, came out the victor. After defeating Grok Lobster, who, again, may or may not be affiliated with the group in any way, in order to win the prize of 1 bucket of gems.
That big is the bucket.
It's bucket sized. It's
go to hell, Puck.
It is okay. It's like a bucket, like you would use for a well.
Okay. How big of a well?
like a normal, like a personal
5-gallon
well.
bucket, 10-gallon bucket. I could feasibly put these in a well.
Like a 2-gallon bucket.
Okay.
Okay, a 2-gallon bucket of I'll use your crazy American measuring system. Through about a liter. How about that? Anyways,
It's significantly less than 2 gallons.
Yeah.
it definitely is. It definitely is. Okay, it's like a 4-liter jug.
Glad we got that sorted out.
Okay, I'm glad we got it worked out. So, that was a few days ago. You guys have since departed the town of Haven's Gate and are moving downriver. You've had a time to sort through the various gems and items in there. How would you like to know what you found?
I think we would
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
I'll take door number 1, please.
Very well. There are 3 gems that have magical properties to do with conjuration. What specifically they do is unknown. But there is a red, a blue, a yellow, and a green.
I would take any and all of those because conjuration is one of my jams.
Wait, you said yellow, blue.
Yellow,
and green.
blue, red, and green.
Okay. Wait, so that's 4?
Yes, 4. Did I say 3? I meant 4.
Yeah, you said and orange. Okay, red, blue, yellow, and orange, right?
Yes.
Wait, orange?
But no,
Green?
sorry, red, blue, yellow, and green.
Okay.
Yeah, red, blue, yellow, green.
Oh man.
I'll do
We're
this
off to a
thing
great
sometimes
start.
where I'll say a number and then I'll count out more than that just to keep you on your toes.
It's okay, we can fix it in post.
Excellent, I love it. Thank goodness for you guys. Also, you have found 5 gems, red in color, enchanted with enchantment magic. I know that's not very descriptive, but that's what you know from sensing magic.
Copy.
The rest of the gems appear to be a collection of valuables. The whole group of it roughly equates, depending on the market, between 250 and 800 gold pieces. More if you can get them cut or put together. There are 2 odd pieces. One is a purple gem that swirls with milky white on the inside. It constantly swirls whether you move it or not. It sometimes forms unusual shapes. The last looks like it has been cut or sculpted in some way, and Shay, you're almost certain this attaches to your new necklace in some way, but
Okay.
you've yet to figure out exactly how. But the coloring is correct.
And the other one is also purple,
Yes.
but that one does not have the same milky substance swirling about. It's just
No, this looks like a very rough gem, in fact, like it was pulled directly from the ground. And that is what you have found so far. Now, your barge is taking you to your last river destination, where you will disembark into the Fickle Plains. That will lead you, eastward on the rest of your journey. There is a small dock outpost in the Fickle Plains that takes offloading ships and supplies and also handles trades. It is known as River's End, because it's at the end of the river.
Lover.
Shocking, I know, but there you have it. And your boat pulls into River's End on this morning after you've been traveling a few days. And you are invited to disembark. The town itself is very small. It's just a collection of walls set up against the back of the river, and 5 or 6 buildings, large warehouses, a simple trading post, and a couple temporary housing units for travelers. Now, this is a Royal Saskatoon Trading Company outpost. You can see the sigils everywhere, the coat of arms, and as such, you are greeted immediately by a representative of the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company, the trading post manager of this location. And his name is Verok, Berok. Creston, Kreston. And Verok Creston is an orc. He's got a stout, broad build, very large arms, and he wears a fine suit as he greets you all on the docks. Hello, travelers.
Hello, well met.
I trust your journey has been long. Good to meet you, fellow orc. Come, I have supplies for you, and we don't have much time to discuss. I imagine you'll want to head out quickly.
Yes, thank you. Any aid you can give, and then we'll be on our way.
Of course. I've been instructed by the head office to offer you a cart full of supplies.
Perfect.
That is much appreciated. And then she's saying that in orc to the individual.
Thank you very much. It's nice to hear the native tongue every now and then.
I've studied for quite some years now.
Thank you very much. It's tough being so far from home out here on the far reaches. The nights can be disturbing out here, you understand?
From what we've heard, yes.
Yes, it is a strange land, but profitable to say the least. Now then, come. I'll lead you to the trading post and show you what I have for you. And he guides you to a large building, and he has a bunch of workers and men there to help load things up. And he stocks up your guys' cart. The whole time, Merrick is watching closely and checking to see nobody sabotaging anything. It may take them a while to load up the cart, but if there's anything additional you require, I am obligated to give it to you. Also, if you require any information, I'm happy to share.
I heard the prince came through this way. That's odd.
He did. I was instructed not to give him any supplies.
Did you follow the instructions?
He was very upset.
Good man. And I'm nothing to give him. I'll be sure to give my commendation to the Empress.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
That's what I can give him.
We also have some visitors that you might be interested in as well, Lady Dulcinea.
Oh, me specifically?
Well, one of them claimed to, they wanted me to notify them when you arrived.
Did they give you any name?
Oh, yes, Mr. Boulder Shoulder.
Oh, yes, he's a good long-term friend. Oh, I don't run into him too frequently out here. Thank you. Yeah, I'll be sure to run into him.
Of course. He's traveling with 2 other companions. They're running around the grounds. I believe they're assisting a caravan of settlers.
Unsurprising. They do just seem to rove around.
Well, you should find them out with the other wagon preppers. Beyond that, is there anything else I can do to assist you?
I look around, see if anybody else has anything.
You mentioned the nights being strange. Is that anything in particular, or just general strangeness?
Well, I don't want to startle you, but you're familiar with the giant lands to the south.
Yes, somewhat, yes.
We're quite close to the border down here. And of course, the roiling Dreadscar and its fiery mountains are the most difficult piece. We assume nothing comes over. But 2 nights ago, I swear I saw flaming boulders coming across the mountaintop and landing just to the east. There's also talk of a roving band of frontier knights. apparently a new group has arisen out here in the east.
Yeah, they were giving us some problems over in Haven's Gate. Did we just come from Haven's Gate?
Yeah.
Yes, Haven's Gate.
Ah, yes, they seem to be split up into factions these days, but I'm afraid that many of our settlers out here have little protection of their own. And the forts. Some of us operate on a skeleton crew. I am lucky in this location. I have many people coming in and out from the ships. But I fear for Far Reach Post. They only carry a contingent of 10 out there. If they were to be overtaken, it may stymie trade in the east.
Well, on the positive side, the Frontier Knights are not the brightest swords in the sheath. Let's hope they burn themselves out.
Hopefully so. Word is they've been taking in disenfranchised settlers to bolster their ranks.
I'm sorry, did you say there's 10 guards holding a major trade hub?
And it's all we can muster at the moment. The contingent rotates out whenever settlers come in, but it is so far removed from everything else it is hard to get people out there. Even most of the settlers in this caravan will depart to other lands before you reach Far Reach Post.
I mean, that all just seems real flimsy.
Well, nobody expects to see much out here. Besides the unusual wildlife, we're not expecting an attack from anyone. No one lives in the Desert Expanse.
Yeah.
Except for those who come here from the Empires.
Well, I mean, you may want to petition for some more resources on that front, given that now you do have people causing problems, you know.
Well, I have requisitioned as much as I can, but much of the guards are protecting the resource trade up in the Fickle Tundra to the north. And a number have been requisitioned by the Royal Saskatoon Trading Company's Reliquary and Archaeological Society for the project they have going on up north. It's difficult to get resources if you can't tangibly show a threat. Unfortunately, when the...
Heard word from that particular area in regards to any finds or even the whereabouts of my parents.
Well, I hear that they're working out there, although there is talk of a find south of Glacial Bay. It is possible that they will be redirected in that direction.
Oh, really? Would you mind expanding on that a little bit further?
Of course. Well, the word is they found remnants of some kind of civilization up there. But, the last expedition that went out didn't return.
Oh, that's quite troubling. But it is very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's certainly interesting if true. You hear a lot of stories out here, and I'm never quite sure if any of them are true.
Mm-hmm.
I had one guy say that he saw a horrible sea monster cruising through the rivers. It had tentacles and 6 eyes, and it grabbed people and stripped the skin from their flesh and made them its thralls. Ridiculous, right?
I mean, we fought a giant angry seaweed on the river, so...
Oh, yeah, we've seen those.
I'm just saying, like...
That's probably normal.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Very, very normal.
Well, anyways, if you guys wanted to depart, there is a caravan heading out with a bunch of settlers. Usually safer to travel in numbers. Of course, if you'd wish to take your own speed, you're welcome to go anytime you like.
I mean, yeah. Might as well just as soon start out for the caravan, get the lay of the land.
All right.
As long as Merrick doesn't have any objections.
No, Merrick's just like watching them load up the cart and, make it. Oh, no, that doesn't go there. Hey, that goes over there. No, that goes in the back trunk. What, you never loaded a cop before? That's just doing his thing back there. All right. So, what's the plan, team? Are we setting out with the settlers, or are we going out on our own?
Settlers is safer, on our own is faster.
I think it depends on how much we care about optics. I think going along with the settlers could be good from that perspective if we don't think we'll lose too much time.
We can break off whenever we want.
That is also true.
And this is likely the last good rest we're going to get to. Doesn't hurt to delay a little bit to go with the settlers. And then we can go at our own pace after that.
I'm assuming we might want to be keeping our eyes and ears peeled because of the fact that, let's just say, our track record with other people it hasn't been the best. As far as obviously bandits and liars, people who are betrayers. I still have to write that letter. I forgot to send it back at Haven's Gate.
Well, this is your last chance to do it, but hey, now we know what to look for, and you can ask the right questions this time to figure out who's lying.
That is true. I'm still learning how to distinguish the liars from the people who are being honest and forthright.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I
think it's
lifelong skill. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to teach insight.
Simply get good.
Simply get good. So, if you guys go check out the other settlers, there are several groups of peoples. What appears to be two families. One you recognize from your earlier riverboat trip. Way back when. It is there was a mother, a father, and a little girl. And that was the Thoroughborn family. Daniela, Vislani, and Declan. And of course, they're very happy to see you.
You've made it this far. That's very good progress. Well done.
Mommy, Daddy, the heroes are here. We'll definitely be safe.
Maybe. Gonna feel real bad when they're inevitably cannon fodder for plot.
Nonsense.
You'll be traveling with us then.
At least for a little bit. Safest in numbers.
Oh, certainly safer with you all here. The way that you dispatched that seaweed beast. Glad to have you.
Like thinking back at how well that almost didn't go. Doing some recalculation in my head.
Yeah, we did great. Also, you defeated the bandits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing on the road will be too difficult for us. Right, Daniela?
Of course. You guys beat the bad people and the scary monster. And you've got eaten by the monster and you still lived. You must be really strong. Looking at Draper.
Yeah. Don't go down easy, kiddo.
So, there is the Thoroughborn family, and there are also three other families that you don't recognize. There also appears to be a high elven woman with a... Come on, Sean, you can do it. A hobgoblin bodyguard. There we go. Sometimes I can't find names in my head. I'm worried if it's a decline thing. A high elven woman and her hobgoblin bodyguard. And also what appears to be a halfling traveling on his own. With a simple cart and a mule.
Do we notice anything as far as sigils or anything that's, any identifying factors of certain areas?
everyone appears to be traveling fairly unmarked, but certainly the ones who look like they have any kind of money or station are definitely the high elf woman and her bodyguard. They are traveling in a very fine cart, not unlike you would see in, like a merchant traveling or even a noble's traveling cart. It looks more like a carriage with a fine white horse pulling it as well. The rest of the family groups all seem very much like, this is everything we own, and it's on this cart now. And that's the kind of impression that they give forward to it. They very much seem like settlers heading to new lands. But other than that, the single halfling looks like he's got an open kitchen in his cart. And seems to be traveling on his own. You assume he's likely a merchant or a traveling worker of some kind. And then, of course, the fancy elf and her bodyguard. There is also 3 wizards gathered together. A dwarf, a centaur, and a furbolg.
Walk into a bar.
Walk into a bar and are wizards.
I'm going to go talk to them, but before I leave the family, I'm going to kneel down next to the girl. And well, where I'm going, I don't think I'm going to have too much need for this, but I think maybe you might like to have it. And because I'm a courtier, I have perfume in my kit.
Ooh.
I'm not going to need perfume. I'm going to give the little girl my perfume.
What you think now?
I know. If this ends up being helpful later...
It's just like, there's a door, and there's a perfumed shape impression.
Mm-hmm. Nope, look, it's just basic, normal, noble perfume that, I'll give it to her.
She is over the moon. She is just thrilled that this hero has given her perfume, and I'm just like, Lady Dulcinea, she sprays it on herself, and the parents thank you graciously for the gift.
Of course. I hope you guys succeed out there. You're very strong to have come this far.
Well, we do have a piece of land. And the land is very fertile out here. I hope that we will make a new life.
I hope so too. And yeah, I will head over to talk to the wizards.
And they're all discussing something together. Perhaps if we enchant the pathway, or we could whip up a pair of magical shoes for everyone. Yes, your magical shoes never work. You set fire to those poor hooves back in New Haven Plains. It's working out with time.
Do I know what languages Boulder Shoulder speaks?
He speaks Dwarven, Halfling, Common, and a little bit of Deep.
We're speaking Common then. We got nothing we can be sneaky with.
All right.
Hey, buddy. I didn't expect to see you out here. You usually stick to the towns.
Oh, we go where we are needed, Lady Dulcinea.
Yeah,
for we are wizards without empires.
Terrible. Okay.
Or WWE for short.
Who needs you out here?
Well, these settlers are all going to new places, and we've heard that some of the folk up north could use a magical touch. So my companions and I are headed up that way.
Any good news? Bad news? Indifferent news? Any news, really?
Oh, just the usual, just a few things. And he engages his magical telepathy to speak to your mind. It says one of the satchel seats flew his airship to the east the other day.
Yeah, I think we saw it pass overhead. Wait, can he hear me? Can I reply back in my head?
Yeah, you can respond back in your head.
Great.
Not sure where he was headed, but we've heard some strange reports out there. Also, a very dangerous sect of the Frontier Knights has grown up in the region.
Yeah, we've been hearing rustlings and rumors, and they're gathering settlers.
Somebody's consolidating them. They were broken up into different sections before. Weak enough and easy to handle. But somebody's putting them together again.
Any idea who?
Not sure, but I've heard word on the street that their leader is looking for the prince.
Might run into them. Wouldn't mind bumping into the prince myself.
Well, hopefully the prince hasn't signed them on.
Do you think they would even help the prince at this point?
These people want legitimacy, Lady Dulcinea. What's more legitimate than serving the prince?
I mean, lots of things. The prince himself is not legitimate right now.
Okay, but what do they have access to that's more legitimate than serving the prince?
Fair. Hopefully he'll realize that's stupid. That Saskatoon didn't want them anyways, and that's why they're all over here in the first place.
Well, I'd like to agree with you, but I saw how hopping mad he got out here.
What's he mad about?
They didn't give him supplies. He's got it in his head that he's the hero this land needs.
Well, he might die like a hero, and maybe then he'll get the glory he's so after.
Well, if you did, I didn't hear anything about it.
Likewise.
But anyways, anything magical that he switches back to speaking out loud. Anything magical that you require, the WWE is here to assist you.
I might actually have something for that. We've recently picked up some gems that we could use help identifying.
Oh, magical gems!
I think you guys might be perfect for the job.
All right. That sounds great. Warglef here, and he points to the Furborg. He's excellent with magical gems. Used to collect them out in the forests in Calagarn.
Wonderful. Let me introduce you to my friends then,
Excellent.
and get you set up examining some gems.
Aha! We'd be happy to take a look at all of them. It appears we'll be traveling together for a little while. Don't worry, our magic will be, not too disruptive.
Look, hey, if it's disruptive in our benefit, I don't mind.
Of course. We'll do our best. And, they have summoned a kind of magical cart and horse for themselves to travel on. And it's like trailing flames all the time. And, the horse appears to be half horse and half frog. And, its name is Puddle Jumper.
Wonderful.
Is that thing, local?
Sorry, that was Stevie's, experiment that he's been working on.
Oh.
A hybrid.
Yes, a hybrid. He was looking for the perfect battle mount. And, he was experimenting with different types of creatures, merging them together using his wizardry spells.
And he believed that a horse that would merge with a large frog's body would be appropriate.
He could jump real far.
I see. Shay
It's
just
just weird when he
continues to
takes the
write
cart with
notes.
him. We usually lose a couple things.
No notes. No thoughts.
Love it.
Yeah, Shay's been writing, and she's drawing a sketch of this thing that she's never seen before, trying to wrap her brain around what organs are where and how this thing is alive.
As you're sketching Puddle Jumper opens his big horse mouth, and his long tongue flicks out into a bowl of oats and brings back oats into his mouth.
I hate
Just
that,
because
actually.
So, I was hearing, I started hearing as you were walking forward, something about you can identify specific gems.
Ah, yes. Absolutely.
Well,
Bit of a hobby of ours. We like to examine magical things.
I like finding them. So, maybe you could be of help in with these items here. And then she's gonna kind of lay them out carefully, like placing, and Pointer's going to also too, like carefully like open the hand as Shay takes each item and laying it flat for them to kind of see before them.
Oh. So this large furbolg man he's got these big shaggy ears drooping down, and he's got this staff that kind of branches off in multiple sections and has been tied up with many beads and feathers kind of looped around the peaks of it, kind of steps forward and takes a look at them all. Oh, yes. Well, these 4 elemental gems.
Elemental?
Yes. If you destroy them, you will summon an elemental from one of the planes.
Oh.
But be careful. Sometimes they can have varying temperaments.
Now, why on earth would someone want to destroy one of these gems and summon something that is, quite frankly, we have no idea what it would do?
Well, if you summon a bull in the home of your enemy, certainly you shall accomplish something you wish.
Oh, I see. I don't spend much time like Lady Dulcinea on the battlefield, so I would not do anything of that nature.
Well, some of them can have information as well. The elemental planes have their own information fields that they traffic in. And, of course, you'll want a fire elemental by your side once winter hits.
You do have a point.
Although they can be quite hot in temper. Fire elementals.
Why would it be helpful? Like, what's to keep it from just burning you up? Like, if I was just hanging out at home, right, and somebody broke a rock and suddenly I was somewhere else, like some shady barren landscape, I'd probably be pretty mad at those people.
Well, it varies in temperament. Some of them enjoy the prime material planes. Some of them hunger to be here versus their homelands. Varies from elemental to elemental, just like people.
Have you communicated with one of these said elementals?
Oh, yes, I can summon them sometimes. Good assistance, although that is more of a long-term relationship.
I see.
Would they be the same ones? If we summon them versus you summoning?
Not necessarily, but I wonder if I can assist you in this task. When the summonings occur, think of it as a hole opening up in the plane, and then just pulling in whatever happens to be there. Now, it is possible for one stronger elemental to intercept another to take up its place in the summoning. Were I to tell my friends to look for your particular portals, perhaps they might assist you. Although it is difficult to say, if they are busy with other tasks, they may not come. But I can do my best for you. Any friend of Wizard Boulder Shoulders is a friend of ours.
Seems better than just leaving it completely to chance, you know. Some possibility of a friendly one would be a good idea.
I would appreciate it.
Very well. I will send word through the elemental planes to my allies. And let them know that friends are carrying elemental gems for summoning. They will see if they can intercept for you.
And any idea what some of the other gems are?
Ah, yes.
Particularly the red ones. This group, right here.
These are unusual. I've seen a few of them out in this land. They seem to be rounded and smoothed, not cut. But I surmise that they are meant to enhance items by setting them into them. As to what the enhancements may be, I do not know. I've encountered them in red, blue, and white.
He lights up at that prospect of being able to mess around with magic items.
But I have found no consistency in the enchantments between them. So, if you wish to place one in your weapon, just be prepared for anything.
Gonna give
Yes.
Frederick some bling.
I have opinions about this.
Can talk later.
Is there anything else you'd like me to discuss?
This one? The purple swirly milky one?
Oh. And his face suddenly goes very grim. I have seen these before. You might want to destroy this. And he hands it back.
But is this similar to the others where if we destroy it, we summon something from another plane?
No, that gem holds a prisoner.
I'm sorry?
I am from the Calagarn Empire, but I hold no loyalty to my home. There is an underground trade in the Calagarn Empire, a heinous and vicious cycle. You are familiar with the traditions of those in Melangar, where they venerate their dead and live alongside their spirit elders. There is a black market trade of those spirits, and they are bound to items like those. And he points to this purple gem.
So, we set
No
it
one
free?
speaks of it. It seems to be the most merciful thing to do.
I see.
What happens to the soul when the item is destroyed?
Sadly, we do not know. Likely it would be best if it were to be in the care of a nurse medium, in order to safely transition it to an afterlife or something. I'll not lie, there's a possibility that it will become a malevolent spirit when it escapes. The binding process has a tendency to break minds, even those that are only spectral in nature.
So release it in a safe area and brace for a fight.
Potentially.
Or save it till we can give it to someone who knows how to properly handle it?
Moreover, if you could return it to its rightful family, I'm certain they would be happy to have it.
Ask if anyone here knows any refugees from Melangar. It had to get here somehow.
Of course. Those stones are used to fuel magical enchantments and magical items. They've found there's much energy in this trade. After I learned of it, I joined up with the WWE.
Thank you very much for your expertise. Can we repay you in any way? Gold? Would you like a few of the gems that we gathered?
We do not do what we do for money.
No, but money does help you do what you do.
Keep your coin. You will need it for your journey. You never know what you may need to barter for in Far Reach Post when you arrive. My
Very
friends and I are heading up north. There will be plenty of pay and accommodation for us there.
Thank you.
I was happy to help.
One moment. Would you have any information about this particular, it looks like it was once a necklace. It's missing some of the major pieces, but I'm still trying to get its origin.
I've not seen anything like that. That is a very unusual piece. It reminds me of magical talismans we used to make back in the forest, before my people became alchemists for Calagarn. Perhaps it is some kind of talisman for an ancient culture here.
Noted. What about same situation with this ring? And she shows the ring that had the bones and that detailing. I think carved faces.
We did see one of these. Farmer found one in a field, out in the Shrouded Hills. Although the marking was different, shorter.
Is that a talisman as well?
A talisman or a signifier of some kind. Difficult to say. I dare say this is probably more your expertise than mine. I can't sense much of a whiff of magic about it.
That is all I needed to know. Thank you.
All right. Well, the carts are setting out soon. I best get back with the rest of my crew. Our other friend has discovered an unusual tome that he wishes to read on our journey. And they go hop atop their flaming horse frog drawn carriage at the head of the pack.
I'll wave to Boulder Shoulder.
Do you all mind if I hold on to this? I say with the purple swirly milky one.
I mean,
Certainly.
as long as you're not going to do anything evil with it. You're not going to do anything evil with it, are you?
No, Trafer, I'm not going to do anything evil with it.
Okay. I just wanted to ask.
Have you been hearing from a certain object recently?
Frederick? Yeah, not too keen on getting bedazzled. I think we're gonna revisit it.
I don't like the way she talks about me. You should poke her a little bit. Show her
I'm
who's
not
boss.
going to do that. No, I'm not going
Okay.
to poke my friends.
It
Once we
would
find these
show her who's
frontier knight
boss.
assholes, I'm not boss. Dulcinea's boss.
Or you poke Dulcinea and then you're the boss.
I don't think. What do you think the outcome of that after I poke Dulcinea? What do you think is going to happen?
I transfer her essence to you, and then you are powerful as V and Dulcinea.
And then,
You are boss.
and then.
Look, I can't give you all of your aspirations.
Oh
Like, you need to
my God.
come up with your step 3 on your own.
Oh my gosh. I think the right step is maybe don't stab the people who I'm going to lean on for survival.
Fine.
Do you want one of these little gems?
What does it do?
Unknown.
Okay. So why would I want it?
It could make you stronger?
I'm already very strong. I'm a very good sword.
Well, then I'll put it in my other sword.
Well, hang on. Just don't.
Well, I mean, if you don't want it, I have another,
I
less
didn't-
cool rapier, and maybe I could.
didn't say that. I just said I'm already a very strong sword.
I just thought it could make you stronger, perhaps.
We could see what it does, I suppose. But nothing permanent.
No, I'm very good at modifying weaponry, so.
All right. I'll trust you on this one.
Without knowing what the thing does, I'm going to start tinkering on my little sword.
And then Shay's gonna make, because if all of that was out loud, Shay has taken notes, and one of the notes reads, "Use reverse psychology on Frederick."
Yeah, I think V
It was
probably
successful.
talks out loud just so that way he doesn't have to retell the conversation to you.
Awesome. All right.
Tinker, tinker, tinker.
Tinker. It takes some time. But you guys set out on your journey. Where would you like to position your cart?
What are our options?
Excellent question. So you guys could go in the middle, or the back, or the front. If you go in front, you're going to get in front of the wizards.
I don't want to be next to the wizard
No.
part. I don't trust any
No.
in that situation.
Middle?
Horse frog? No. It's okay.
I think middle.
Middle sounds good.
Yep, middle.
All right. Middle it is. And you guys are able to set out on your journey. The first day out of travel is fairly uneventful. Everybody just kind of spends their time in their carts. It's a nice, pleasant journey. The terrain in the Fickle Plains is very open, occasional hills, and of course these rocky craters that show up randomly throughout the land. There's approximately 133 miles to Far Reach Post from River's End. And you guys, at this point, move about 5 miles per day. So it's going to be a bit of a journey to get there. You can move a little bit
Miles
faster
per
once you...
Day?
With your cart. With the caravan, yes. It is probably going to get a little bit faster once you get out of it. It may increase as everybody works out their speed.
So there's no way we can go faster than that. It's just...
Not if you're traveling with the caravan. You can get faster after. And looks like once they hit the break in the road, the rest of the caravans will be heading north. And you'll be the only ones continuing to the east. So, a bit slower, but safety in the group.
Can I ask with the other families if there's anybody from Elengar around to see if anybody knows anything about this purple gem? Help it?
Absolutely. So, you do happen to track down one of the families does happen to be from Melangar.
Hi, so this is such a stretch, but do you happen to know any healers from Elengar or anyone who can help with spirits?
To help with spirits. They seem a little bit reclusive when you initially speak with them. We didn't bring any spirits with us. We don't know.
Oh no. It would be giving a spirit back to other people who know what they're doing. I'm not trying to find out how to do anything with the spirit, or I don't need it. I would like the spirit to get back where it belongs.
You have one.
Maybe.
Are they here? Can you introduce us? Maybe we know their family.
We can try, but we've been warned it might be dangerous.
Where are they? How are they? Are they in one of the carts?
It's being transported in a rock.
Oh. And their faces become quite grim. How did you come upon this?
Random happenstance.
I see. Well, none of us are trained in the art of nurse mediumship. We can attempt to converse with it, basically, but unless we know personally.
You seem unsure. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks, especially while we're still with the caravan. A nurse medium is who we were told we would need to help, so...
There are few out here, I'm afraid.
Well, thank you for your insight, but I'd rather not risk you trying to do something dangerous.
Of course. Please, help them find their way home.
Of course.
Thank you.
Look,
Also, sorry, it's 15 per day. My mistake. It's 15 per day.
that makes sense.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was
You
like,
guys were so surprised. I was like, I should re-examine my conversions. And oh, yeah, they're there.
I could leisurely walk 5
Yeah.
miles a day.
Right?
so-
yeah, I was like, whoa. I was like, do I need to mold earth and like make it smooth?
Yeah.
Like, how do we
How
speed
can we
this up?
move?
Yeah.
We could be in like a pig-drawn carriage and go more than 5 miles per day.
15 per day. All right. All right.
Dulcinea, here's the thing. We don't know if this thing was found, if it was like legit mined out, or if it just somehow got mixed in. It's possible that thing's been here for a real long time. Might have nothing. That gem might be older than the Melangar Empire.
Yeah, Cletus did seem to imply that they weren't sure if they had an ancient excavation site on their hand or just a mine.
Yeah.
Either way, this seems like it's way above any of our pay grade.
Yeah. I mean, we can try to talk to it without letting it out.
I don't want to do that while there's families around. If we can wait till we're a little further north, there's going to be no one around. That'll be much safer.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Do you know anything about spirits?
Not really. It's kind of a study and practice that, is a little discouraged in Saskatoon. To the point where if you got ghosts following you around, people kind of get weird about it,
Well, hey, since the war ended, there's been more foreign exchange programs opening up between Saskatoon and Melangar. I'm sure you could apply through the academy.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Kind of a big reason that I don't really interact with magic too much is because when I do, weird stuff sometimes happens, like ghost-related stuff.
I mean, that's all of magic. You do magic and weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
I do magic and sometimes people get cursed or they hear spectral whispers in their head and they go crazy. Everybody has a little bit of weirdness with their magic.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, I don't know, maybe it's worth trying to dabble, out here away from the Empire and all that.
I think Saskatoon may not be the best place for you to grow then.
Yeah. Huh. You know what? And Triff will go over to V and he'll take his axe off of his back and just think you can gem me up, dude?
Yeah, I could gem you up.
Fuck it, let's give it a try.
Tinker, 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 tinker.
All right.
And it's like this axe has like shitty gems in it, like fake gems, just like carnival glass, but the settings are, everything about this weapon was designed for enchantment, but then has just been very carefully disenchanted.
I will like pop out one of the fake ones and like save it and put like the real one in. I also want to note that like, because I can make any tools, and also that V is proficient in Smith's tools, so I'm good at like weapon things.
All right.
Because we all know all parts of making weapons are the same skill.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree completely. Speaking of which, as dusk descends on your first day on the road, the caravan begins to settle off to the side and circle the wagons to make camp. And it is at this point, V, that you finish the modifications to Frederick. And you feel Frederick psychically communicating with you. Is it done?
So, how do you feel?
Hang on. I think I'm... Wait. Is someone else here? Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, you've got to be fucking kidding me. He says out loud to the sword.
Is everything all right?
Who are you, second voice? What's happening?
Oh, it's not important. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worrying about it. I want to know though.
I'm Frederick.
Nope.
Or we will be. Just give us a moment alone. I don't like this.
I also don't. Why do I not like this? Also is weirding me out.
And red begins to permeate through the blade from the gem. B, how are you responding to this?
I'm gonna pop the gem out. I think if I can.
All right. You pop it out, and the red slowly begins to retreat. Oh my god, it was so scary.
What was that?
It was like he was trying to eat me.
It's weird because I don't know how to respond in this situation.
Okay.
I
take back everything I said. You're really cool.
You're fine. It's luckily for you, it's sort of devil you know situation. I've understand your vibes. I don't want a new third person here trying to talk to me all the time.
Okay. Well, I don't think I would have made it much longer.
Yeah. Okay.
It was like before.
What do you mean before?
I don't know. Before I was a sword? That doesn't sound right.
Are you actually a person?
No, I'm a sword.
Okay.
Right?
So but you were something else before you were a sword.
I don't know.
Well, no, this is just sad.
I'll remember.
Okay, you know what, Frederick? I think you've been through quite a lot today.
I'm very tired.
Yeah, you just take a little break. Okay. I'm gonna try and find something to stab for you soon.
Thank you. I could use something to eat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna Hilton. I have my supplies of various things, and I will put this in a little jar and label it Yikes.
This is the Yikes gem.
This is the Yikes gem. I won't put the Yikes gem in anyone else's weapons. New one for Drafer.
All right. And the wagons circle up. And a bonfire is created at the center, and slowly everybody comes out and sets upon logs and mingles and converses with each other. The halfling traveling by himself stumbles over his short stature unimpeded with a big pot of stew and brings it over to the fire and sets it up on top. You're more than welcome to it. I made enough for everybody.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. Hey, what's your story? You just, heading out on your own to try to settle in the plains?
Oh, I'm a traveling chef. I go where the food is. I've heard there's very tasty fish up north. I wanted to try some new recipes up there. Also, I've been told you can make good coin cooking for the camps.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that tracks. Any, this is your first time out, or, are you familiar?
This is as far east as I have traveled. I heard the tales back in New Haven Plains about the tasty, delicious fish that they caught in the frozen waters to the north of the fickle tundra. I had to try some for myself. You can get them in other parts of the land, but it's different when it is fresh, I believe.
Yeah, that tracks. I would appreciate a good,
Now, I should introduce myself. Fenvic Thistletoe. Nice to meet you.
yeah, trade for crap.
I'll shake.
Pleasure to meet you, Trafer.
I'll shake his hand.
Help yourself to a bowl of stew. Big fellow like you, it'll warm you up from the core.
Oh, I appreciate that. Man, I'm having some trouble transitioning to the cold here. You'd think it would have sort of caught on by now, and I know it's gonna get worse, but man, I'm used to a little more, environmental comfort.
Of course. But we're out on the trail of adventure. We have to leave our comforts behind to find something new.
Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. A lot of uncomfortable stuff happening lately, but you gotta push through it.
Well, that's why I carry my home with me. And he gestures to his modest cart. It is easier when you're small like me and do not take up much space.
That makes sense.
Although I reckon I'll be taking up a little more space once I'm done with this stew tonight. And he pats his ample belly.
Yeah, good one.
Help yourself. I've been perfecting this one. This is my trail stew.
Yeah, I'll eat this dude.
All right.
I imagine it's pretty good.
And yeah, he just kind of helps everybody. It's hearty, thick, full of vegetables, and some local game meat in it as well.
This guy is like so sweet and so kind. I am going to purify food and drink. So just like
I start to get the
surreptitiously,
impression
just like
that perhaps you don't trust me.
what?
No.
No, me and my sentient sword and my sentient gem are so trustworthy or so trusting.
All right.
Just cast it for fun.
Absolutely. No, just for fun. You purify food and water on these. Fenwick is passing out bowls to everybody. He tries to offer some stew to everyone at the camp. And more or less everyone takes it, except for the high elf lady. She offers up her stew to her hobgoblin companion, who, as now that you see him out and about, is clad in some fine plate armor. He almost looks like a knight without the helmet, and with a fine sword at his side. She is dressed in these kind of fine regal gowns as she wanders about this place.
No
But yeah.
empiric insignia on these guys?
Nothing.
Rather than ask her directly, I'm gonna sit next to my good friend Renary's Boulder Shoulder and ask him, hey, who's the high elf?
I've seen her on the trails a couple times before. I think she's a merchant. Always keeps to herself and that big fella she keeps with her.
Where's she been frequenting lately?
Makes a lot of treks between the fickle tundra and out at River's End. She's always watching people on the trek. I don't know if she's checking out new settlers or Some kind of business she's in, I'm thinking. Whatever it is, it doesn't require moving a lot of cargo.
Did she carry any weapons? Ever seen her use magic?
She's got to have some magic about her. My friends have detected it. But only one with a weapon appears to be that big fella she travels with. And he doesn't say much.
We'll figure it out on this trip. Get us a little more information for both of us.
I'm sure if anything comes up, we might find out a few things about her.
I'll lower my voice a little bit more. Any news from home?
Things are pretty quiet. Everybody's eager for reports from the field.
Well, I can write you a last few before we head out into the wilderness. I don't know how easy it'll be to get you letters from here, but...
I have a contact on the shore I can get a sending to.
Perfect. As long as you can keep getting back to the continent.
Everybody's watching this contest real close.
Is it really that important?
It is. Because there are rumblings that whatever this new settled land is going to become, it'll be a prime location for a new warport.
No one even knows what's up there, though. It could be nothing.
It could be anything.
It could be a dead end.
Anything, people's imaginations get away from themselves.
It's too impractical of them.
They wouldn't be the first weapon we found out here. Remember the Expanse steel?
Yeah, and my mind goes to the dagger that I know is in my pouch. But I'm not even going to show him.
And there are rumors about worse things out there.
I haven't already heard.
Nothing that I'd want to worry you about, because I'm not certain how real any of them would be.
No, please worry me about it. I'm worrying about 4 other people already, and an entire continent behind me. You can add a little bit of worry to it.
Nothing flies further to the east.
So no ghosts, nothing flies.
Not even, like, large predatory birds, rocks, thunderbirds, things that you see other places in the Expanse. There's a certain point that you just stop seeing them out there, and people think that there's something keeping them out of the skies.
How's that airship gonna fare then?
My friends and I are keeping a close eye on that. It'll be a fine experiment. If even decorous Fahrenheit can't stay in the air out there, then certainly no hope for anyone.
Well, it would knock someone else out of the competition, at least.
I'm not so sure he's in the competition.
Do you know what he's looking for?
Knowing De Gris, he's looking for something to further his manufacturing ends. He's also... Word on the street is he's got his eye on the technology seat in the Golden Satchel. No one's ever held 2 seats before, but if he discovers something new out here and works it out, he might be able to do it.
Caligarn is the least of my worries out here.
Fair enough.
Well, appreciate the info. Send along any I get.
No problem.
I should go do my job, and I'll pull out my lyre and just quietly start playing for people. And I don't think we need it, but I can sing a song of rest for any of the settlers.
Everybody's thrilled to hear you
yes.
play. People are just delighted. The Faraborn family are just telling everyone, she saved us from monsters. They're all heroes. Just telling everybody about you guys. He got eaten by a monster, but he survived. And she helped save the captain of the ship, and this one she cut down bandits like they were nothing with her sword. And telling a bunch of stories. And as night settles,
I do have a question.
Oh, sure.
This is going way back. Did I ever give, because I'm looking at my notes and I don't see it there, did I ever give Trafer that magical theory book that the governor gave?
I don't think you did.
Okay. We're going to rectify that. So
All right.
basically, as Shay's trying to, she's taking this time to try to restore, using the jeweler's kit that was given by V to try to restore, the gems and the parts of the necklace to try to kind of continue to work on that piece. But then she's also she's organizing her pack, and she probably will then come across the book. And when she does do that, she heads over to wherever Trafer is kind of positioned, where everyone is probably eating or just relaxing. Trafer, it totally escaped my mind because there's been so much going on, but I think that you might be interested in this book I got from the governor a ways back.
So what is this book?
It's magical theory.
Is this like a common magical thing? Like what kind of magical theory book is this?
Just kind of basic magical theory, basic spellcasting.
Is this like a common textbook? Has Trafer seen this book before?
Probably. You've probably seen it around.
Here's the thing: is I think he's read this book. I think he looks at.
Oh, yeah. What edition is this?
He opens it up to see is this a newer edition than he's familiar with, or is it an older one?
Well, I know that you're familiar with the library, and I figured maybe you might want some reading material, because I don't see you reading as often, but obviously you didn't carry as many books as I probably am currently carrying.
Yeah. No, this is great. Yeah, it's great. This is
Well, I won't bother you any further.
No.
I just wanted to give you...
this is very...
I forgot.
No. It is very thoughtful, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem at all. And then she's going to kind of nod and then head back to where she was kind of trying to restore the jibs and working on that necklace still.
All right.
Trafer turns to page 236 to see whether there's a misprint or not, so he knows if this is the 3rd or the 4th edition.
It is the 4th edition.
Yeah. Well, at least the one where they fixed the conjuration typos.
Putting on a show of just
Aw.
boy, this sure is great. He knows this book backwards and forwards. He knows all the basic Magic 101 books. He all has pretty much memorized because he always kind of wanted to go down those studies, but it was discouraged for him.
Wow. Such deep development with Trafer here.
Shay's just trying her poor attempts at trying to make friends
Aw.
and doing it poorly.
Oh, it's so doing great, Shay.
Socializing. You want to read together? This is great.
Parallel play.
You're doing great. So, as night descends and everybody gathers around the fire and you all receive your stew, in the darkness, for truly it is pitch black beyond the light of the fire and the simple torches on carts, you hear 4 heavy impacts. That echo out into the distance, and you feel the rumbling beneath your feet, like somebody just banged enormous rocks together.
They moving away or towards?
None of them seemed any closer of the 4. They all seemed quite distant. We're going to take a break right there.
All right. We'll be back in 15 minutes. See what that's about.
One.
Hello, and welcome back to Last Light. I am your benevolent Dungeon Master Puck, and I'm a very lucky Dungeon Master because I get to play with all of these cool people here who all do things out there on the internet in their own right, and I'd like them to tell you about those things right here, right now, today, at this moment. Starting with Shay. Shay, tell us about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Utahime. You can find me on the social medias at Utahime, Utahime cosplay, and at Brianna DaCosta on Twitter. I am the community manager over at the Initiative Order and also at Cyber Nation Uncensored, and I'm also too a producer over there. I'm so excited to be a part of those amazing communities and to be able to play games over here. So you can find me obviously doing lots of different tabletop shenanigans, but also to one of my favorite things to talk about now is the fact that I have a talk show that I'm starting called Power Word Talk that's going to be premiering this Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So join us over at Cyber Nation Uncensored. We get to talk with a lot of amazing writers, artists, creators in the community that are doing amazing things, making a positive impact on our community as a whole. My first guest, I'm super excited, is Jessie and Akalia, who you guys probably know as the voice of Soren on the Dragon Prince, because I'm a huge fan and I can't wait for the next season. So I'm sure we're going to be talking about that and all the other awesome projects that he's doing and representing the Filipinos out there, because yes, it is not only Hispanic Heritage Month, but also Filipino Heritage Month as well. So woo woo.
A lot of overlap in those communities, I find.
Yeah.
All good people. All good people. Love it. Excited for the
We're all connected. We really are.
Absolutely. Dragon Prince, man. That's awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm excited to see that. Next up, Dulcinea, what do you got going on?
Hi, not much. It's a busy month for me in real life, so it's like a chiller online month, but I got this going on, so every Monday I'm here. Also, I'm here every Wednesday, where I play in Kai's game of Those Lost. Things are gonna get probably real bad and real spooky. I play a cinnamon roll character who possibly has the powers of hell attached to her. Might be. I don't know. I actually genuinely don't know. So come find out with me, because I'm just trust falling at Kai with this character.
Also, you have the superpower of just looking so helpless that nobody bugs you.
Yes, I literally have the superpower of looking so helpless that people just want to help me because I look so pathetic. It's great. So you can find me there doing that on Wednesday. Otherwise, you can find me hanging out all over the internet as Arcady Koshka. I'm usually mostly on Twitter, though. So you can find me doing crafting stuff and makeup stuff and a lot of cat pictures.
Excellent.
The most important thing I do is take pictures of my cat. Let's be real.
Like those cat pictures, like we need them.
Mm-hmm. They're healing.
Yeah, exactly. We need that supply ever present. V, what do you got going on?
I got the same things I always got. Unprepared Casters on Mondays, Guild Fellows on Wednesdays. Those are both podcasts. If you want to see my face more, you can find me at Off the Outlaws YouTube channel on Fridays. And if you don't remember any of this, just follow me on Twitter at Amelia_Som. It has an underscore because God has to keep me humble. And my pinned tweet has all the stuff that I'm in. But also when things happen, I tweet about them. It's a fun little thing I use Twitter for. So.
I see. An effective use, if ever there was one. Thank you so much. And last but not least, Trafer, what do you got going on, bud?
I'm incredibly ill. Forgive me if the presentation's a little less dynamic than usual, guys. I'm barely holding it together over here. I'm the producer. Push the buttons and make things move around on the screen. So, yep. I'm also in the Wednesday game.
All right. Thanks a lot, bud. I appreciate it. Everybody, send all your energy to poor John the Mad Maker over here, who's toughing it out with us today. And I'm Puck. I'm the Dungeon Master. You see me on the Wednesday show too. I'm a crazy guy with the weight of indomitable confidence, and I'm the worst house guest anyone has ever had, and you can see me doing that. Also, if you wanted to know what's in 1D&D, what are these things? What are these changes coming out? I've made a video about that. You can find it over at Puck and Talk. They're really into feats this year. They're really into feats with 1D&D, and I talk about that along with the changes to the expert classes, as they are calling them. So you find out what all that's about on my video. Check it out. All right, let's get back into it. When last we left our heroes, they were camped out in the plains with a bunch of fellow travelers and heard a series of heavy impacts out in the darkness. And we join them now as they gather around the fireplace.
I try to get like a little aerial vision.
Of course. So fly up high as your wings will take you. And it's difficult to see in the night. Of course, everything just appears as blackness, with but a single fire down below illuminating the area around you. But out in the distance, far out to the southeast, along what appears to be a mountain range in the darkness, you see 3 moving torches. They're very far away, but they move into the distance just a little and are snuffed out.
So they're moving away from us.
Yes.
I'll keep an eye out for a little while to see if anything changes.
All right.
I'm gonna take a pebble. I just probably keep pebbles on me.
All right.
And I'm gonna use magical tinkering
Okay.
to make a static visual effect with up to 25 words of text to put that there 3 moving torches in the mountains went into the distance, snuffed out, and just drop it and try not to hit someone on the head.
All right. And what is this visual sensory thing look like? Is it like a scrolling marquee that floats above the stone when it lands?
Yeah,
Does it broadcast out like the 3D and Back to the Future, or what's going on?
Yeah, so basically, everything V does magically is like glitter, so the stone just has a little bit of glitter on it, like in addition to magical trails. And it's like a little marquee that's just kind of like there's, like maybe like 8 inches of space and the text is rotating across, and then it's blank for a minute and then the text rotates across. V uses Helvetica, obviously.
Of course. So once the stone lands, everybody can see it scrolling this message across.
Is that something we should worry about?
I mean, probably, but if they're moving away, can't worry about it yet.
There may be a way that I can investigate further. It's kind of an unorthodox way of going about things, but to get a closer look, maybe? Because we don't know for sure whether or not they are going away, or maybe put out their torches in order to sneak towards us.
It also doesn't really explain the sound of the rocks hitting it. Like, they were talking about giants hucking rocks around.
Were the torches and the rocks in the same area or direction?
Well, the sound came from the same direction.
Is there any animal that's like nearby?
Do a nature check.
Why am I not seeing my nature? Oh, there we go. Okay. So that is a 15.
All right. You find a gopher,
Oh.
a groundhog.
Shay's going to approach the gopher.
And he's like perched up. Sees you coming and then dips back into the hole and just pokes his head out a little bit.
Hi, I did not mean to disturb you. I'm sure you are having your own dinner and you're busy. But do you mind doing me a big favor?
Favor? What kind of favor?
I need to use your senses and your ability to sneak around carefully and stealthily to try to get a closer look at the happenings over yonder.
Happenings?
Yes.
I don't know if I want any part of that.
Well, I promise nothing will, no harm will come to you. We are going to, well, rather, I become one with you, and I see through your eyes. I am you. You are not me. Does that make sense?
Ma'am, I'm already seeing someone.
No. I'm sure you're a lovely gopher, but I am not thinking of us in that type of way. This is just to help these people, my friends, to make sure that they're safe from harm.
What do you got to offer me?
We can offer you. What would you desire? That's a better question.
I like roots. You got any good roots?
I'm sure that we can gather plenty of roots for you.
There are some tasty roots around here sometimes, but there are angry people with sticks.
Oh, no worries. I will make sure. And what is your name?
My name's Gil the Gopher.
Gil, I really appreciate what you are about to do, because I am going to, again, it's a process. So if you don't mind, can I see your little foot there?
Okay, but when do I get the roots?
After, when we are sure that it's safe for you to enjoy your roots, just like us enjoying our wonderful campfire.
All right. I'll trust you on this one.
All right. Don't worry. It won't hurt at all.
Lets out his little paw.
And so she basically holds on to the little paw, and in that moment, she is using beast sense in order to basically become this gopher.
Okay.
Temporarily.
I am one with the gopher.
I'm one with the gopher. The gopher is one with me.
Excellent.
Maybe not so much. Not so much, but yeah.
All right.
At least one way. It's a one-way street, unfortunately, for this gopher.
In a moment, your perception shifts from looking at this gopher, taking your hand, to the perception of this small furry creature looking up at you, seeming like a giant, with your small paw in your own hand.
And then just going in that direction to try to obviously sneak and not be seen, but to try to figure out if there's tracks, like try to see what creatures are ahead if possible.
All right.
It does last, like if I concentrate, it does last for an hour. So however long in order to track these things.
Your perceptions are different as a gopher. You can smell things you couldn't smell before. You can see much further, and you can see many points of light all around you, scattered throughout the plains. You're able to move through the grass like a bullet, easily traversing the terrain, weaving around large bushes and rocks, crawling through, laying down logs, and just making your way across the plains. You come across 4 areas of disturbed earth, far in the distance. They trail off into small craters where enormous smoldering boulders lay. You can feel the heat radiating off of them, and they provide a small amount of light. As you traverse further to the east, you can feel steady, plodding impacts, like the footsteps of heavy creatures. And you feel the instinct to hide as an impact gets very close. The heavy foot falls near you, and then stumbles and runs off in the distance to the northeast. You duck behind a small bush, and you can see that those footprints, as they fade, are followed by 3 more, larger and heavier. You can see they are connected to enormous creatures, with bodies so tall you cannot see the top of them.
And that's all I see. There's no
That's all you
actual
see.
physical, I just can sense that they're nearby.
That's all you see. You see the legs, but you cannot see the tops of the bodies. You see legs and big boots.
How big are these legs? They probably
Huge.
look ginormous. Okay.
Enormous. The
They
size
never
of
miss
tree
leg
trunks.
day.
They never miss leg day.
Giant, one
The
might say.
size of tree trunks.
And after that, obviously, then
Yeah.
in the body of Gil coming back.
All right. You return back with Gil's body. And he is happy to be home.
I truly appreciate what you did. Give me one moment.
That was terrifying.
I'm sure it was quite an ordeal. I will gather as many roots as possible. Just give me one moment. And then in that moment, she turns around to try to see if she can find anything that basically would be obviously something that Gil would really, really enjoy.
You notice that the stew contains a number of fresh carrots.
Oh, okay. And is the halfling still there?
Yeah.
I will approach Mr. Whistletail. Excuse me, do you mind if I get some of those carrots?
How many did you need?
The bunch right there will do just fine.
Okay, I'll give you these 4.
Thank you. I owe you for that. Thank you very much. And then she goes and goes back to Gil to lay the bunch of carrots. So it seems like he just hit the jackpot for gophers.
Oh, he's
right next
excited.
to
He just starts pulling them into his hole. Hey, this is pretty great. All right.
Please enjoy. Thank you.
Thanks for not killing me.
Of course not. I promise I keep my word, if anything.
Appreciate it.
Good night. And then Shay's then going to find the group. I'm assuming, I don't know if V is still away or if V joined the rest of the group.
V, how long do you stay in the sky?
Just a few minutes.
All right.
If nothing's changed, I'll come back down.
Nothing clear, but yeah, you come back down.
Yeah, cool.
I did a little bit of investigating, again in my unorthodox way, to be cautious, obviously. But it appears that they're very, very, very large creatures. Legs the size of tree trunks, heading in that direction that V observed. So we definitely want to be careful.
We were into there were giants in the area. Were they big enough to be giants?
Yeah, were their
Most
calves bigger than
certainly.
mine?
Yes, and yours are quite impressive, but these... Oh, I mean, mind you, I was in the body of a gopher, so maybe it's just the angle, perhaps. And maybe yours are actually larger than the creatures that I saw.
I mean, oh wait, are we talking about literal giants?
Yes. I've done some
okay,
some
so
research. Yes.
Probably raw size, right? But proportionally, not
Proportionally.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not the same.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, at least the size of their footprints. Let's just say we probably want to proceed with caution, just in case they are larger than our dear Trifer.
Would we have ever? Are there any giants back home, or are they just keeping to themselves over here, sort of thing?
They're keeping to themselves over here. It is known that the lands to the south are giant kind territory. Any attempt to contact the giants that live in the giant kind territories has not been successful. They seem to have a very reclusive society and are not kind to visitors.
Maybe we don't bother them. They don't bother us.
I
will
like
say
that plan.
I did learn how to speak their language. I have not put it to use quite yet, but I'm pretty sure with all of the studying and research that I've done, if we do accidentally run across one of these giants, maybe I could at least say that we come in peace. It's always an option. Peace before stabbing. And then Shay looks at V specifically when she says stabbing, and then kind of like, then looks back to Dulcinea.
That's why stabbing is Plan H. Plan A usually is talking.
I mean, I've never seen a giant before, but they can't all be dicks, right?
I'd still rather not risk it.
All right.
All right. And with that, do you guys wish to do anything else before you turn in for the night in this camp?
Yeah. If we're about to turn in, I'll burn a spell.
Right.
I would love to use detect thoughts on the elf lady.
Very well.
So yeah, just whatever surface level thoughts she's got going on as we settle in for the night.
Her surface level thought is nothing suspicious just yet.
Is that like literally what she's thinking, or
That is literally what she is thinking. She is thinking to herself that she has not yet seen anything suspicious, but she's going to keep an eye out.
okay? Likewise, I have that thought then too.
It's like, good, we're on the same wavelength.
You know what? No, I don't trust that we're not going to get attacked before we go to sleep. Yeah, no, I'll save it.
Very well. All right. If there is nothing further, you are allowed a simple night's rest in this caravan. Except for the...
I already clicked the button, but I don't think I used any. I'll just mark that spell slot again.
You awaken in an unfamiliar house.
Oh, I don't like the music change.
You don't recognize this home at all. It is a simple kind of hut. There is a stand with some basic armor and a couple swords laying up against it. A small mud brick stove and a few scattered utensils. The place is well kept, but modest, to say the least. And as you awaken, you are laying on a simple cot. There is a loose tapestry hanging over a doorway that seems to lead outside, and there is some light trailing in through the gaps.
I get out of the bed. Does this feel? Do I feel like I'm dreaming?
It feels very real.
Okay. I'm going to take a closer look at that tapestry.
Of course. As you take a closer look at it, you can see that it's been painted. There are some trailing designs and some rough stick figures on there. It's all very simple, but there are a couple handprints, white and blue, placed on it as well. Placed on there with sticky gobs of paint. And you feel an amount of affection flow through you as you look at these handprints on this tapestry.
How big are the handprints relative to my own?
You put your hand up to them, and your hand is larger than you remember it. It's calloused, and there are dirt under your fingernails. It's also a little bit hairy. Not like animal hairy, but hairier than you remember.
Am I as tall as I remember?
You notice now that you're a bit taller than you normally are.
I assume I'm not in my body.
You're starting to think that.
Yeah?
Your hand is larger than the handprints on the tapestry.
Okay. And there's nothing else really of note in this room.
Nothing else.
I'm going to open the door.
You push the tapestry aside, and there's an enormous vegetable field that lays out in front of you. There are 2 small children playing in the field. They're playing with a blue spectral figure that floats and dances along with them. They look towards you, and their eyes grow wide, and they reach out towards you as you feel a heavy impact followed by a wave of heat. And then it all goes dark. And you awaken the next day. In the cart, in your accommodations. As morning arises on the camp, slowly everybody begins to go about the routine and prepare to set out back on the road again.
I am gonna write down what I remember next to my previous entry and what is now a portion of my actual journal that is my dream journal.
Very well.
As everything's kind of gathering up, it kind of seems to be slow progress with the crowd here. Maybe want to break off, or do you want to stick it out for another day or two with these folks?
How far does the crossroads seem to be?
The crossroad is another 2 days' journey.
Yeah, 2 days is a really long time to be going this slow. I think we need to move on because these settlers didn't expect us to be here to begin with. It's been nice that we've been able to protect them, but it's been an unexpected pleasantry.
And I mean, so far, it doesn't seem like there's much of anything to protect against.
I think if they stay quiet and vigilant, hopefully they'll be okay.
They'll be sticking to the path. I don't think the real shit happens until you get kind of beyond the explored areas.
We're going to be splitting off from them sooner or later anyways. Everyone knows about the competition too. I don't think anyone would expect us to stay.
Yeah.
They know we've all been sent on another job. I don't think they're going to question our empress.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, sounds good.
I'm gonna find
All right.
the cook real quick.
Hey, just want to say.
Oh, sorry, friend. I like to sleep in at times. What can I help you with?
No worries. Sorry to bother you. Just we're gonna kind of break off. We've got sort of a different path to cut than the rest of you, you know. But just want to say thanks for the food and pay a little something. And I handed basically like an uncut sapphire.
Oh, this is quite the treasure to hand over for a simple stew, my friend.
If you say so. Good luck in your travels, man.
Good luck to you as well. Your generosity is appreciated. Here. And he digs into his back and he comes out with a small old pot that he has strapped the lid down on. Have some for the road.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, that was delicious. I'm sure everybody will be happy to have a nice warm meal at our next stop.
Just heat it over a campfire and remember to stir. Don't let it boil over.
Gotcha. Stir the whole time or just like occasionally?
If it starts to bubble, stir some more.
Okay. All right. Will do.
All right. And he dips back into his cart. And after seeing you guys get ready, the wizards of the WWE step forward and approach you. Renarius Boulder Shoulder, the stout dwarf wizard of the team. Understand you got work to do?
Yes, as do you, and it seems like we're working in two different directions.
So often seems that way. But don't worry, we'll look after them. Powerful enchantments in these three. Our protective wards will hold up against any attacks.
Thank you. I genuinely very much appreciate it. And I'm like looking at the three families.
We'll look after them in your absence. But if I come across anything else you need to know, I'll get a message your way.
Sounds good. And one last set of these, and I pass him a couple of letters to send back to the continent.
Of course. I'll make sure they get to where they're going.
Thank you.
Good luck to all of you. And if you ever need some magical assistance, tell people that the WWE are around. Wizards without empires! And you guys separate from the caravan that's still packing up and getting ready to go and head out on your way. You make better time, traveling about 25 miles per day. It is uneventful the next 3 nights. You're able to travel and camp and travel and camp. On the 4th night, you come across them. Another set of boulders dug into the earth at the roadside. You can see the trails of the disturbed earth from their impacts where they hit and rolled and dug in slightly. They're still warm to the touch and radiate heat as you pass them. Which is almost a little bit comforting, because there's come a cold chill in the breeze after your last night's stay. And the leaves and the grasses have begun to turn from green to yellow and orange. The next day, travel uncovers some unusual spectacles at the roadside. You come across an 8-foot-tall broken blade, as wide as Trafer's shoulders, dug into the earth, with its hilt snapped off. And a trail of warm blood staining the roadway.
Guys. Yeah.
So, I believe it's confirmed. I saw what I saw, and not just because of the small gopher body.
No. It's got to be a giant. Damn. Look at the size of this thing.
Judging from the size of this portion of sword, how big would I have to? Because like, I've Trafer rolls with folks who use ridiculously large weapons. He uses a ridiculously large weapon himself, like impractically large. How big would something have to be minimum to wield this?
15 to 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
And they'd have to be real strong.
Yeah. These giants are living up to the name. I'll tell you that.
Well, they may be big, but we have the advantage of being small. We can dart faster than they can. We can hide in tighter places. If we come across any of them, we just be quieter because we're quieter than them too.
Also, if necessary, I can make one person big.
Look at Trafer.
How big? Can you make me like 3 or 4 times as big? Because we have to be minimum that.
Well, like, I would say you're sort of medium-sized right now.
Sure.
I could make you large.
All right. Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Because I don't think I want to necessarily go toe-to-toe with one of these folks.
Yeah, that seems Plan H.
Plan.
Oh, did the H
Yeah.
not pick up?
Yeah. No, definitely.
Oh.
So, if you guys continue on your journey, a few hours later, there is a grimmer discovery. Laying on either side of the road are 2 enormous bodies. You mistake them for structures or hills until you come closer to them. And then it is clear that these are giant humanoids. The one has an enormous gouge in the top of his head that is leaking blood out onto the grassy plains. And you can clearly see into his brain. The other has fallen doubled over face down, clutching what appears to be a stomach wound. But both are very still.
Did you say it was
They're clad,
still leaking blood? First one?
well, oozing a bit.
You sure they're dead?
They seem pretty dead.
Seem
See,
worries me.
can we perceive
Mhm.
if that death is actual death or just
You may make
maybe?
an investigation check. if you
Yes,
like.
yes, please. Please. I'm good at that. I hope.
Can I help?
Absolutely, you may.
I'm gonna go over to the one with the head wound.
Roll with advantage.
Because I'm
Oh,
assuming
yes.
that one's dead, and I'm just gonna touch it and see if it's warm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
That is a
skin.
22.
Ooh, 22?
Mm-hmm.
They appear to be dead, and Trafer, as you touch him, his skin is cold to the touch. Your 22 investigation, you notice that they are clad in heavy armor. It's stitched together plates. The plates look like they could roof a house if you put them together. It certainly doesn't look like something that any person your size would wear. And they're stitched together with these thick wire cords to hold the armor together. The creatures themselves have charcoal black skin, kind of gray and sooty, and their hair is bright fiery red. One is clutching a broken hilt with jagged shards at the end of it, presumably the other half of the sword you discovered on the road. But they are both very dead.
Cool. What's in their pockets?
I was actually going to say this cord. Could we take some of this cord?
If you like.
Yeah, what's in there? I'd like to dig through their pockets.
Because you can make a belt out of that cord, right?
I'm sure you could. Absolutely. So, it takes some doing to root into the giant's pockets. Yeah. Like climb all the way in.
Like no qualms about the dead bodies and stuff. Just
go
what
in.
do they got?
There.
One has an enormous stone ring and a locket inside his pocket.
Oh.
The locket appears to be made of some kind of polished steel.
How big is enormous? It's like
So let's say his ring is like 6 foot in diameter.
oh sheesh.
Oh.
Okay, I don't think you can do anything with either of those.
And the locket is like a large painting
Oh wow.
made of steel.
Is there a picture?
Don't think I can do it.
Yeah, that's what I was
what's
gonna
in the
ask.
locket, yeah.
It is a picture of a well-dressed gentleman with sooty charcoal black-gray skin. He has a large, full red beard, and he is sitting with a beautiful, long, red-haired woman standing at his side, dressed in a long, flowing black dress.
So man but not giant,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Oh no, sorry. The
both
man
of
the man in the picture is the person laying on the ground.
Okay, but yeah, okay, so the picture is of a giant.
Yeah.
I didn't know they could paint. This is way more culture than I think anyone here gives them credit for.
Yeah, I always heard that they were like, kind of like ogres, just like big and oafish. But this is the whole culture, man.
Well, that's what I was saying, is that in my studies, they have culture as much as any of us, and all it takes is communication to understand one another, after all.
Yeah, this gives me a little more hope that we might be able to do that if we run into any of them.
What we should do is fold up that particular painting and bring it with us, because then we can say we found your fallen soldiers and tell them where they are, and then maybe it's like, obviously they know that there's no way that we could have done that, but at least we let them know so they can bury their loved ones.
Yeah, on the other hand, somebody of a similar killed these guys. This isn't like somebody tripped or came across a wolf or a big bird or some shit. Like, somebody wanted these guys dead, and from the looks of it, ran them down after some sort of battle. And they're hucking flaming rocks at each other. We might be in the middle of a war zone right now.
Oh, that is quite disturbing. Indeed.
Yeah, and look, if we run into any other nice ones and we need to identify them, I can recreate the picture and I prestidigitate a small image, and I recreate the picture with prestidigitation.
As far as you know,
Just show them that.
are there different kinds of giants, or are they all kind of this like sort of volcano motif?
I'm not sure anyone has stopped to ask them.
I would assume they're probably just as varied as anyone else.
Would Shay know this from having researched?
There are a number of different types of giants, and they seem to be their look seems to be influenced by their environment.
Yes, there are, and it depends on the environments around them, and it seems like it's a way to adapt to said environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it seems handy.
We shouldn't linger here for too long.
Good point.
I wonder if these guys are fighting amongst themselves, or if there's another group of giants they got conflict
Or something
with.
bigger than giants.
Or something bigger than giants, yeah.
This is fine.
We should probably keep moving either way.
Walk and talk.
Merrick's like, great, more things bigger than me.
Classic Merrick.
Classic Merrick. As you guys move along on the journey, it's the ground is disturbed in such a way that it's clear a battle took place here. Like, you can see drag marks in the earth and the kind of disturbances that you would see much smaller in a battlefield, but because of the size of the people that made them, are very obvious in this regard. And as night descends, you notice a large trail of blood that leads to a small hilled alcove just at the side of the road. And sat there, with her knee up to her chest, is a large giantess with long, flowing, fiery red hair and thick, corded muscles, nursing a leg wound, leaning up against the hillside as you crest the bend.
She looked like the lady from the picture.
Mm-hmm.
She does not. While the woman in the picture looked very demure, more Dulcinea's style, this lady looks a bit more hardened.
We can help. I know how
Although
to heal.
Still
Giant friend,
undoubtedly beautiful.
giant friend might not be a bad thing to have out here.
All right.
You can speak giant. How about you and I
Alright.
approach?
All right.
Say for V, you hang back a bit.
Yeah,
I
I'm gonna keep
assume
an eye
you'll
out.
see if we get in trouble.
Okay, give me 1 second. And then she kind of goes through just to like make sure. She's like, yes, uh-huh. Okay, I'm ready. All right.
Yep. Approach
Like just, and then Shay's
normally,
just kind of
very
like,
normally.
but Shay's normal is just like,
Don't be suspicious.
yeah, she's just like, ah.
You see her leaned up, and she's attempting to tend to a wound on her thigh, so she doesn't notice you approach immediately.
Hello?
Ah,
Excuse me.
I don't have any coin.
Is she speaking common or giant?
She speaks giant.
Great. Tell her we can help.
No, we are not approaching you to try to get coin. We see that you're injured. Maybe my friend can help?
Are you warriors?
The look between me and Shay, and it's like,
Asking
Kind-
whether or not we're warriors.
I mean, can be, but that's not our main thing.
We are more like explorers, looking to find what's out in these great lands.
So you can track.
Some of us, yes.
All right. Ugh! She grunts as she ties it off and kind of staggers to her feet. Ah. I am Greta Cinderscore. Sergeant Greta Cinderscore.
Oh, a pleasure to meet you. I am Shayneth Valaris, but you can call me Shay. And this is... And then letting Dulcinea introduce.
Oh, Dulcinea Corvinus.
I see. It's impressive that you speak the giant tongue, but I think things will be easier this way. And she reaches into her pouch and pulls out a stone, and you can see a symbol glow brightly in blue on this stone. She crushes it in her hands and blows the dust up into the air. And then when she speaks, you can all understand her.
Very useful.
You understand me now?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. All right. I would like to deputize your group.
I'm sorry? I don't think I understand. For what?
Yeah, we missed the whole first part of that conversation.
Right.
What now?
Podtext?
Sorry. I am Greta Cinderscore, Sergeant Greta Cinderscore.
Mm-hmm.
I am in these cursed lands in pursuit of a fugitive. Dangerous gentleman that must be brought in or put to death. I've already lost 2 of my men.
Oh, so you are already... Oh.
Yes.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. It is appreciated. If you can help me track him down, I would appreciate your assistance. Surely he is a danger to any business you have in this land.
Yeah, what? I'm sorry, Sergeant of, where? Or what? We are totally new to, like, the whole deal out here.
Of course. Of the United Ordained Security Force. We are the peacekeepers of the giant kind kingdoms.
Got it. Okay.
The fugitive has fled to these forbidden lands in hopes that we would not follow him here. But we understand that you smaller creatures have taken up residence here. And we will not have any of you threatened by our own ineptitude.
Very kind.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate that.
It's part of our code.
Is it you or the fugitive guy that's hucking around the giant hot rock?
We did exchange boulders. The hot rocks are from my men.
Okay. so
Is-
this a common weapon amongst you folks?
I'm very sorry you're dealing with this, but we have our own orders that we need to follow first. We can keep an eye out, but we can't drop everything to go tracking them. If we find them on our way, we could take care of them, but
Could we?
maybe?
I understand. This is our business, and this is giant business.
Is the fugitive another giant, or...
Yes. A frost giant.
Oh,
Skilled with an axe.
as we saw.
In Leonin, I will say,
You know, if your goal is to set up diplomatic relations, being the first one to get some sort of communication opened with the giant lands would be pretty big.
I agree. And Shay responds in Leonin because she also knows.
Can you fight a frost giant? I say in Leonin.
Well, if we run into it on our own, probably fucking not. But if we got her, maybe.
What has, back to Sergeant Greta, what has the fugitive done, aside from attack your men?
He has performed profane rituals in the giant kind territories.
We're not familiar with your rituals. What exactly does that mean, if you can say?
Right. There is much I can tell you, but I am under strict orders not to interfere with the smaller races looking to colonize these lands. We believe in our culture, in our territory, it is best to leave you all to your own devices and not interfere with whatever you have going on up here. But if you were my deputies, I could share stuff with you as honorary members of the Giant Kind Empire.
Yeah, that's not a bad title. I'll say back to Trafer and Leonin. I want a little bit more information from her.
I am willing to work out some type of exchange. I understand I am putting you out. You did not ask to be placed in this conflict, and had I have been better prepared with my men, I would not have needed to ask for your help.
Well, rituals aside, what can you tell us about what we could expect from them? What exactly sort of danger would we be getting into by signing up to be sergeants?
You would help me track him down. Then once he is tracked down, I will deal with him.
I mean, what does that mean? Everyone out here is so vague, I say in Leonin.
I will have to execute the prisoner in these lands.
No,
I do
mean,
not believe I have the manpower to restrain him as of
what is he capable of? What will we be fighting against?
He is a
Gesture at
ferocious
those two
fighter.
bodies.
He's a ferocious fighter, skilled with axes, both two-handed and thrown.
Any magic?
No magic, although he has conducted some profane rituals. Although to our intelligence, they have not granted him any powers. He is a fighter and a fanatic.
And after we help you capture and you execute him, what then?
Then I will return home and bring sad word of the loss of my compatriots.
Would there be a way for us to contact you in the future?
If you are my deputies, then I would ask that you inform me of any unlawful giant kind activity in this forbidden territory.
That seems reasonable.
Yes, you could be honorary informants.
Why is the territory forbidden? Other than, have you not learned anything about why this land is the way it is?
It is forbidden territory. It has been ordained for as long as giant kind has existed that we are not to enter these lands. I would speak with you further, but I am not allowed.
Right, there's the secrets and things. I guess, can you just answer this? Do you guys know, where the East Coast is?
Our cartographers catalog the land close to the Dreadscar, for purposes just as these. I have my own map that I would be willing to share with you.
Oh, a map.
In Leonin again.
If we
I
were
mean, that alone
deputies.
seems worth it. This looks like a
Yeah,
total-
that's a good deal.
totally.
Yeah. That's a good deal. Sergeant, I think our goals can align. We would be happy to assist you.
You have my thanks.
Yeah, I would.
Can I, as a gesture of friendship, take care of your wound?
If that is something you are capable of, I would love to see it.
Great. Yeah, I will. It's a little magic, but it'll help. I'll cast Cure Wounds. She gets 13 healing back if that matters.
Is that anything to
A
it?
little bit of healing.
her
Hello.
wound,
No idea how
More
many
heals?
points of check.
Yeah, look, we can have more heals if needed.
her
I have
wound
some
starts to
heals.
stitch back together, and you manage to stop the bleeding.
Yay.
That worked very well.
Should
Thank
help
you.
prevent infection out here, too. No, that's a problem.
I apologize for my standoffish nature.
Look, you
We've
just
been
went
told
through.
many things about you, the settlers of this land.
You just went through a horrible fight as well, lost some of your comrades. I think it is quite understandable that you are injured, in pain, in emotional pain. It's very understandable. You have nothing to apologize for.
They were good friends. I am sad to lose them.
Well, hopefully we can work together and you won't lose any more, at least to this frost giant heretic.
I will not allow it.
Well, look, our goblin buddy here, he can track like real small shit. So giant shouldn't be a problem. Unless there's, I don't know, anything that you know about how this guy might be traveling, or where he's likely to hide out. We don't.
Now
know
that you are my deputies, there has been an increasingly large number of giants stationed near the Dreadscar that have been hearing voices calling them to these lands, with promises of power and wealth. Some have been driven to madness by these calls.
Same things happen with the small folk. Sort of back west in some of the settlements.
I do not know what your business in this land is, but it has been cursed. We don't know how, and we do not know when. There are ancient giant stories that say this was once all giant kind territory. And we lived alongside many others like yourselves in those days. There was a cataclysm, an event, a great upheaval. Some say it is what created the Dreadscar and cursed these lands.
This Dreadscar that she keeps mentioning, is that something we've ever heard of?
It is a trail of volcanic and kind of dead land to the south that separates the giant kind territories from the treasured expanse. That is what I know. Occasionally, fugitives will flee to these lands because it is unlawful to go here. However, my unit has special jurisdiction in these lands. We have all been tested by being stationed close to the Dreadscar, and none of us have fallen to the voice. So we travel these lands to ensure that any of our kin that find their way to this place are not responsible for further bloodshed and sorrow.
Awesome. So, cursed since time immemorial. Time immemorial. Man, I always struggle with that.
For a long
Yes.
while.
Yes.
Long time. For as long as anyone can remember.
Trafe was taking all the notes.
All right.
Well,
Yeah, so is V.
well, the sooner we can track down your fugitive, sooner we can get back to our own mission. So, point the way.
He was making his way to the glaciers to the northeast. Let us make our way that way.
Yeah, I imagine Merrick probably picks up the trail and leads us out.
Mhm.
All right.
What with being Ranger Boy.
And you guys head out. Your little cart making its way alongside a massive, heavily armored giantess with her long, fiery, flowing red hair. And that's where we're going to end today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Wow. Wow. It worked. Diplomacy.
Diplomacy!
And
Talking.
Gil the Gopher.
And
My new
no
best friend.
gopher.
Plan A, diplomacy. Plan B, gophers.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Plan H, murder. Plan I, do whatever you want. See, we have a system.
it just
And I
degrades
is
further
chaos.
and further. Plan Z is just like basically the end of all things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's hope we
We
don't
go
get
nuclear.
there.
No,
yeah. It's all over. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you to my incredible players for letting me throw them in unusual situations, like, for example, being deputized into giant law enforcement.
Why not? Like, it's already been a weird enough week. Like, it might as well just happen.
So true.
And unusual nightmares that I'm sure mean nothing at all. What are
course
dreams? It's
not.
weird.
Love that.
Anyway,
I think those were so normal, actually. It's actually so the crazy thing is V always has dreams like that. They just haven't been being narrated.
yeah.
So I'm sure it's nothing.
It's probably fine. Thank
Everything's
you.
fine.
Thank you so much to our viewers for joining us. Please like and share and let people know about the show. And, you can drop some coins. And we didn't talk about the coin thing today, so I'll remember to do it next week. Because you're probably going to fight some stuff. Anyways, next time. So join us next week for some giant throwdowns and tune in on Wednesday for Of Those Lost. Until next time, everybody, beware last light. Thank you for joining us.
Once I was a roguish bard, dark and suave and cool. But the DM, he had other plans in this world of radiant pools. First I got a magic girdle, changed me to a girl. I thought, okay, interesting, I'll give the girl a whirl.